Good morning, dear students. I am Miss Vandana Pai. In today's lecture of Fundamentals of Management subject, we will be discussing the nature of management as an art and the nature of management as a science. Okay, let's see whether management is an art or science or both. Okay, now whenever we consider art, what is an art? Yes, art can be defined as systematic body of knowledge which requires skill, creativity and practice, okay, to get perfection. Okay, so whenever we consider any art, for example, dancing, singing, okay, whenever we consider this type of art, at the time, see, okay, if you want to perfectly dance, then what you are required to do? Yes, first of all, you should be having that skill into you. Okay, then you should be creative. Creative in the sense, you should be creative in, yes, developing certain steps, right? Okay, and okay, if you think that you should be an effective dancer, then you are required to practice a little more. Okay, so whenever we consider any art, yes, art can be defined as systematic body of knowledge which requires skill, creativity and practice. Okay, so even whenever we consider singing, right? Okay, now any person who wishes to be a good singer, okay, first of all he should be having skill into him. Okay, which skill? Yes, basic, his voice should be good, right? At least basic, his voice should be good. Okay, then somewhat, okay, whenever that person tries to sing, okay, without any type of persistent education related to it or specific education related to it, okay, then that person should be able to sing in a good voice, right? Then that person should be creative in the sense, okay, what do you mean by creative? Creative means something which is different. Okay, he should be able to place his singing differently, right? Then yes, regularly he should be practicing. Why? Yes, to get himself perfect into that art, right? To get himself perfect into that art, what he should be doing? Yes, he should regularly practice. So whenever we consider any art, okay, we ensure these three things into it, right? That is, okay, skill, creativity and practice. Okay, now many of the time management is denoted to be as an art. Okay, now whether management is an art, let's see. Okay, first we will highlight some of the features of art. Okay, means some of the characteristics of art will be highlighted. Okay, then whether those features they are found into the terminology management, we will see it and then we will interpret. Okay, then we will conclude in the sense, okay, whether it is an art or not, okay, whether it is proved or not, we will see through it. Okay, so the first feature of art itself is systematic body of knowledge, that is existence of theoretical knowledge. Okay, now in every art there is systematic and organized study material available to acquire theoretical knowledge of the art. Is it? So whenever we consider any art, yes, you do have certain systematic and organized study material. Systematic and organized study material means, okay, for example, if you want to learn any art, for example, if you want to learn dancing, okay, right, a famous form is Bharatnatyam, right? Okay, now whenever we consider Bharatnatyam, okay, somewhere you do find certain study material related to it. Okay, means what should be the basic step, okay, what should be the advanced step, right? Okay, from where to start, from which positions to start, Okay, such type of material you do find in some of the literature or some of the books. Okay, so whenever we consider any art, okay, any art, maybe singing, okay, whenever we consider singing, at the time, what are the basic things? Is it? What are the basic things? Okay, what the beginners should be doing? Okay, what okay, if the beginners, they are perfect into some of the beginning lessons, okay, what are the next lessons? Okay, so such type of traces, of, okay, the knowledge related to beginners, or related to is it some of the advanced learners, okay, advanced singers, okay, all these lessons we do find into some of the books. So whenever we consider such type of art, okay, we do find systematic and organized study material. Okay, organized study material means what? Okay, all these things you do find in a single book, or these books, they are stored into some of the libraries, okay, from where you can easily get those books. Okay, you can collect those books, or you can borrow those books, and you can just go on referring. Okay, so for example, okay, whenever we consider music, okay, what is important into music? Ragas, right? Ragas are important into music. Okay, now they are different, right? There are so many ragas, okay, and each rag, okay, whichever you think you want to play, whichever you think you want to go through it, okay, the traces of such type of ragas, okay, means how to perform that ragas and all, you do find into some of the books, right? So literature is available, so books or study material is available related to it. Okay, then for example, martial arts, right? Martial arts, see, whenever we consider martial arts, at the time you do find some of the builds into it. Okay, now when the builds are provided, yes, the builds are provided, or based on your performance, okay, based on your performance itself, such type of builds they are offered, right? Okay, now their traces also are found somewhere, right? Okay, you do find certain traces, for example, whom yellow belt should be offered, whom right, black belt should be offered. Okay, such type of things you do find in some of the books. Okay, so it will be easier for any person, any layman, or any third party, okay, if they are curious about such things, if they are curious about the art, just what they can do is they can refer to some study material and get sorted out, okay, get themselves sorted out of the queries whichever they face while learning that art, right? Okay, now whenever we compare this feature with the management, is it applicable to management? Yes, surely it is applicable to management. How? See, in management also, there is a systematic and organized body of knowledge, is it, which is available and can help in acquiring managerial studies. Okay, so whenever the manager, right, manager is the key person whenever we think about management, right? He is the key man. His absence and presence is very important from the organization's viewpoint, right? Okay, now whenever we consider this person, whenever we consider this manager, okay, if he gets stuck into some of the queries or problems related to management, okay, there are certain books related to management studies in which, okay, he can, that he can find out the solution to such type of problems, okay, from which, okay, he can get solutions. Even he can find out some of the methods, practices, policies which are prevailing, okay, which can be easily applied by him into his organization, and surely get himself sorted off from the queries whichever his business faces, right? So this feature, it is present into management. So Yes, systematic body of knowledge. What is systematic body of knowledge? Yes, you do find certain study material related to, yes, related to art as well as related to management. So this feature is applicable to management. Okay. Second thing, second feature, personalized application. Okay, personalized application. What is personalized application? Yes, in the field of art, only theoretical knowledge is not enough. Okay, only theoretical knowledge is not enough. Every artist must have personal skill and creativity to apply that knowledge. Okay, for example, okay, now whenever we consider any art, at the time, okay, only bookish knowledge is not important. Only bookish knowledge is not important means so and so thing is given in so and so books. So if you follow exactly the book, or if you follow exactly the theory, then it is not, is it, it will not, it will never work, right? So whenever we consider any art, okay, there should be some of the modification made by that person as per his creativeness and as per the skill. Okay, as per the situation which he will be facing, as per the situation whichever he will be facing, he can just modify, adapt, okay, the knowledge whichever he has revealed from the books of knowledge. Okay, he should apply his personal skill. He should be having the personal skill actually. He should apply it and do that thing or present that thing, present his art in a creative way. Okay, for example, okay, all musicians learn some ragas, but whenever it comes to application of that music into some of the songs, okay, what do you find? Yes, you do find mixture of some of the ragas. Okay, every raga, okay, for example, they do apply 2 or 3 ragas, they combine it in that effective manner that it will be liked by the audience, right? So in the same sense, that musician, what he does, he applies his personal skill and creativity which makes him different. Okay, now see, whenever we consider this feature into management, whether it is absent or present, let's see. Okay, in management also all managers learn some management theories and principles, but their efficiency depends on how well they use these principles under different situations. By applying personal skills and creativity, okay, so whenever we consider personal application, personal application means what? Okay, in art it means that applying your skill and creativity towards your art, right? Okay, now in the same sense, though the manager, he has learned many theories, principles and practices into management studies, but still, okay, as per the situation which comes into front of him, okay, as per the situation whichever he faces, right, as per that situation he should be applying his skill, he should use his creativity towards it, right? Okay, so this feature, it is present into management also. Okay, 2 features till now it is applicable to management studies. Okay, then third feature, based on practice and creativity. Okay, based on practice and creativity, what is it? Yes, see, whenever we consider art, the artist requires regular practice of art to become more fine and perfect. Without practice, artists lose their perfection. Okay, art requires creative practice, that is, artist must add his creativity to the theoretical knowledge he has learnt. Okay, so whenever we consider any art, okay, whenever we consider any art, at that time, okay, what is required? Yes, that person is required to practice on regular basis to get perfectionist into that art. Okay, for example, any singer, okay, if that singer sings for a single day, Can he be termed as a perfect singer? No. Okay, whenever we consider any singer, okay, any well-known or famous singer, okay, whenever we interview that singers, okay, usually what they say, yes, regularly or daily I do riyaz, okay, or rehearsal for so and so hours. Okay, what it means? Yes, okay, to get perfectionist into the art whichever they like to perform, these people, what they do? Yes, they rehearsal, they practice daily or on regular basis. Okay, now what about management? Yes, same way with experienced manager also. Okay, whenever they apply their skills, whenever they apply their skills, whenever they apply knowledge on regular basis, yes, they do become perfect into it. See, every time your business might not face the same situations, right? Your business might not face the same situations, but still, okay, whenever we consider of new manager and old manager, okay, who is good for your organization? Always the old manager. Why? Because consistently for so many years they have experience related to different situations which your organization faces. Okay, though the situations don't repeat, they are not repetitive in nature, still, okay, based on the past knowledge, that experienced manager can solve many of the problems which your organization faces. So regular on based on the regular practice and creativity itself, okay, the manager can sort your organization out of any problem. So this all these three features which are found into art, all these three features which are found into art, they are present into management studies. So we can term management as an art. Okay, now the second part, nature of management as an art. Okay, let's clear this. What is science? Yes, science considers so many applications, right? Okay, science is a systematic and organized knowledge, right? Science also includes systematic and organized study of knowledge. Okay, whenever we consider this word science, okay, what we imagine whenever we utter this word science, what we imagine? Yes, something laboratory, some research, okay, some scientists, they are involved in certain experiments, right? This all things we do imagine, right? That itself is science, right? Okay, like science in management also there is availability of systematic and organized study material. Okay, so whenever we compare science with management, okay, which are the features which are found into management also, or whether management is a science, let's clear this. Okay, let's see some of the features or characteristics of science. First feature is systematic body of knowledge. Okay, see, whenever we consider science, science is an organized and systematic body of knowledge. Okay, we do find study material into science which is used to acquire the knowledge of science. Okay, see, whenever we consider science, is it, whenever we consider science, at the time we do find certain study material, right? Based on the experiments, based on the theories, based on the some of the applications, we do find some theoretical records or some study material which contains knowledge related to science. Okay, so if we want to acquire any knowledge related to science, just what we can do is just we can refer such type of study material. Okay, now like science, in management also there is availability of systematic and organized study material. Okay, like science, okay, like science also we do find systematic and organized study material. Okay, now whenever we consider management, Okay, in management also we do find certain study material. Okay, if the manager stuck into any problem, whenever the manager faces any problem into his organization or in the situations which the organization faces, what the manager can do? Yes, he can just refer to some of the study materials which are available into management studies. Okay, and by referring those study material, what he can do is, yes, he can surely solve the problem which his organization has faced. Okay, so like science, management is also having the feature systematic body of knowledge. Okay, now the second feature, scientific principles are derived on the basis of logical and scientific observations. Okay, now what it means? Scientific principles are derived on the basis of logical and scientific observations. Okay, now the scientist, right, the scientist who do experiments, right, who conduct certain experiments, right, to invent something new, right, such scientists, what they do, they perform logical observation before deriving any principle or theory, right. Okay, they are very objective while doing the observations, but right. Okay, so what these scientists do? Yes, scientists perform logical observation, okay, before deriving any principle or theory. Okay, they are objective. What they do? They do observations, right. Okay, they mix something, right, they combine something. Okay, whenever they are combining or mixing something, at that time what is done by them? What they do? Yes, they go on observing, right, they go on observing. But what about managers? Yes, managers are observing. They have to observe human beings, and observations of human being cannot be purely logical and objective. Okay, whenever we consider science, okay, the observation which is done into science or the experiments into science field, okay, the observations or the conclusions, they are logical and they have certain object. Okay, but what about management? Okay, in management you do observe human resources, right, or the human beings into your organization, and whenever we observe human beings, okay, the predictions or the conclusions whichever you get, every time it will be different, because it is affected by the behavior, human behavior factor, right. Okay, so some kind of subjectivity enters in the observation. So this feature of science, it is not present in management. Okay, see, whenever we consider science, science is objective in nature, it focuses on certain objectives. But whenever we consider management, management is subjective in nature. Okay, now then the third feature related to science, that is, principles are based on repeated experiments. Okay, now whenever we consider science, before developing scientific principles, scientists test these principles under different conditions and places. Similarly, managers also test and experiment managerial principles under different conditions in different organizations. Okay, means what happens into this principle or these characteristics? Yes, experiments, they are conducted on repetitive basis. Okay, in science, experiments, they are conducted on repetitive basis and different conditions and places. Okay, these principles, they are practiced in different conditions and places. As like this, in management also, managers, what they do? Yes, they do test and experiment managerial principles under different conditions in different organizations. So this feature we do find into management. Okay, so the fourth feature whichever we do find into science is universal validity. Okay, the scientific principles, they have universal application and validity. Management principles, in comparison to this, they are not exact like scientific principles, so their applications and use is not universal. Okay, they have to be modified according to the given situation. Okay, so whenever we consider scientific principles, yes, we have to focus on universal application and validity. Okay, whenever we apply scientific principles in any corner of the world, okay, they are to be followed as it is. Okay, or they are applied as it is. Okay, no modifications they are done into that, into those principles. But whenever we consider management principles, as per the situation, as per the country, as per the place, as per the location, as per the policies of your organization, you are required to modify it. So this feature we don't find into management, right? Okay, then next feature, replication is possible. Okay, in science, replication means repetition. Okay, or identity, is it, or identical, something which is exact. Okay, in science, replication is possible as when two scientists are conducting or undertaking the same investigations, working independently and treating the same data under the same conditions. Okay, the desired observation or the desired result will be identical or exactly same. Is it? So whenever two scientists they are working separately, on the same data, is it, the result whichever we do find after their experiment, it will be quite identical or exactly the same. Okay, but whenever two managers they are offered with two different team, okay, though the situations might be same, but okay, your experiment or your research, whatever you are doing on this human beings, okay, it might be subjective in nature. So okay, though you are providing two managers with the same amount of team or same number of people in the team, still the observations or the experiment whichever they both of them they are doing, it is based on, okay, it might be subjective in nature. Okay, so this feature you don't find into management. Okay, so whenever we consider management as an art, okay, all the features of art we do find into management, but some of the features we do find into science. Is it? Some of the features of science we do find into management. So whether management is a science or whether management is an art, yes, management is both science and art, because some of the features of science they are found into management, while some of the features of art we do find into management. Okay, like science, it has systematic and well organized body of knowledge, and like art, it requires personal skill, creativity and practice to apply such knowledge in the best possible way. Science and art are not in contrast to each other, both exist together in every function of management. So management is both science as well as art. Okay, but moreover, whenever we consider management can be treated as a social science or applied science. Okay, as per the situations, you are required to modify the scientific principles or the principles, theories, practices, and then only you should apply it. Into management. Okay, so with this we do conclude today's lecture. Thank you.